Wait, hold on, don't open Photoshop yet. I have something to show you and I think you're gonna like it. What's up everybody, welcome in, welcome back if you have been here before. Today we're talking about some extra tools in Lightroom that you can use so you don't have to open up Photoshop and you can continue to edit in Lightroom without slowing down your computer and waiting for other systems to load. Alright, so to hop right into the screen here, what we're going to do, we're going to look at these items up here, your extra tools to use before you open up Photoshop. Alright, so I have my photo selected here. This is the photo we're going to use today. I know Colby watches these videos, so I figured I'd use a picture of him, make him happy. These tools up here, they're very important, well, mostly important. You can do a lot of work here so that you don't have to send this photo into Photoshop and save it. So I already have this photo edited the way I want it. This was a senior photo shoot that I did a couple weeks ago. So this first tool here, this is your crop tool. This one's pretty self-explanatory. You are just cropping the picture. You can change your aspect ratio. You can enter custom aspect ratios. This, by the way, if you didn't know, so the new iPhones, so the iPhone 10 and up, the crop for that screen, if you're making wallpapers, is 19.5 by 9 instead of the 16 by 9 that you're used to. Anyway, but that's your crop. You can adjust your aspect. You can adjust your angle so you can straighten the photo out. This one didn't really need it. I know it looks like an angle here, but the house was at an angle anyway. But moving on to more important ones. So first one here is the spot removal tool. Now I know Photoshop has a pretty good one of this, but this one is not bad. You can do some basic stuff with it and it's going to help you out pretty good. Actually, what I'm going to go do here, I'm going to zoom in so I know what I want to use already. We're going to get rid of this freckle because why not? So spot removal, so you can adjust your size, your feather, and your opacity. So with the spot removal tool in Lightroom, you can actually heal, so kind of like the magic band-aid thing from Photoshop, or you can clone stamp. And basically all this is they're just two different ways to do the same thing. But we're going to go with heal for today. So when we're doing this, you can select your size by using the bracket keys. You can go up and down. But I'm going to get just a decent size here, and this is what we're going to remove. Now if you notice, another circle pops up. That is your source. That's where this spot is, that's where their spot removal is pulling from to clone out and dissipate that freckle. Now it's usually pretty good at auto picking, but if you for some reason don't like that, you can actually grab this circle and you can drag until it's something that you like. That way you can get the best results for you. And then, so to delete anything though, you just hit backspace and it just poofs it out of existence. But let's go ahead and add that. We're going to do that. Now while you have this, you can do pretty much anything else. You can add, or what I meant is that you can add any other ones that you want. So to zoom out there, and then we'll go back. So if you see that one already is there, but maybe I want to do this one. So gonna bracket up, gonna go bigger brush here. Maybe I want to make this bush come down. It's gonna do there, but I don't want that. I want to just continue the bush. So now I'm gonna drag that into here. This is gonna look bad, I'm sorry. But let's see what this looks like. So it's not branches, it's leaves instead. Boom, there you go. So that's something else you can do. Now with this one, maybe I want to take the feather down a little bit. I know this looks bad. Don't judge me. I'm just showing you what to do here. Voila. We got rid of the branches and we added leaves. And actually at first glance, it doesn't look horrible, but we can definitely do better in Photoshop. But for basic spot removal things, you can do a lot of it in Lightroom. I use this all the time for if I'm shooting indoors and there's light switches. I remove the light switch, match it to the wall. It just kind of streamlines everything. I don't have to go into Photoshop for every single one, especially on because I don't have a desktop, I'm on a laptop connected to a screen. And it's not the fastest. It's a 2016 MacBook Pro, it has the i5, but it tends to bog down a little bit when I try to open up Lightroom and Photoshop at the same time. So if I don't have to, I'm not going to. Anyway, moving on. So next one is your red eye corrector. Now if you don't, you shouldn't be shooting with a direct flash anyway. If you have anything like a flash on top, maybe you can use a bounce card or some sort of softbox or reflector or something to soften up that light. You do have a red eye corrector if you need it. It just brings up this tool. You're going to come in. It's saying unable to find a red eye because I don't have a red eye. But it's pretty self-explanatory. It says drag from the center of the eye or click to use current size. But like I said, if you know lighting, you shouldn't have to use this anyway because you shouldn't be using a direct flash or a direct light. Throat is so dry today, so I'm sorry if this is pretty choppy because I'm probably cutting all this stuff out. Alright, so now we're moving on to some adjustment tools. So we have three here. We have the graduated filter, radial filter, and the adjustment brush. All three of these deal with adjustments to the photo. Let's go with our radial filter. So what you're going to do, you're going to come here, you're going to drag it across. Now you have a radial filter. Whoa. Yeah, and once again, you can add as many as you want. I don't want that one. Let's go back to this one. Meant to grab this and go out this way. Yeah, so what this is a gradient of adjustments. So this is going to, now I can add some adjustments to this filter. So this mask comes up with the filter. Now you're only making adjustments to here. See, if I click out, or actually if I just scroll down, here's my adjustments for the whole photo. So this is the adjustments for the mask. So say I want to drag the exposure up just on that side. I want to make the bush a little bit brighter and have like the light over here and it's falling off to the side. You can do that. You can make all these extra adjustments. Maybe I want to add some texture to the bush or that whole side in general, I guess. Clarity. This doesn't look good, I know, I'm sorry. I'm just showing you what's going on. So your adjustments are there. You can come down, you can make a shadow. I know, so this probably looks weird with the lines here, so let's go ahead and enter. So now you can see the adjustments are there. It's brighter on the left side, and it's the same on the right side. It looks darker due to the contrast. But we're not going to leave that there. I'm going to come back in, delete, poof, it's gone. Now the next one, radial filter, same thing. You have adjustments, but as it may sound like and as the icon looks like, now we have a circle, an ellipse, whatever you want to make it. You can drag it around, do all this fun stuff. You can adjust it. Now what I really like about using radial filters is that it draws focus. You can increase the depth, you can increase detail on your subject, and it draws focus to your subject. One thing to note is that this is not a vignette. You are making corrections to the photo. It's a mask layer on top of the photo, on top of the correction you've already made, but you are making adjustments to the photo. You're not just adding what's gonna look like a black ring around the outside. So for this, I like to invert it so that now I'm working with the inside instead of the outside. It always defaults to the outside. But let's see what we're going to do here. So I'm going to bump the exposure up a little bit. We're going to make that a little bit brighter. I like to go low contrast on portraits. And then I can do even more adjustments from here. I can just keep going with it. Shadows, I'm going to leave whites and blacks where they are. Now let's add a little bit of clarity. That's a little too much. Texture, we're going to go up a bit. Saturation not going to touch because if you remember or if you know, portraits you don't want to go with saturation, you want to go with vibrance. Sadly, these don't have vibrance on them yet, but we're not too worried about that. Then you got sharpness, noise reduction, I don't know how to pronounce that, and defringe. But down here at the bottom, now you can feather how tight that is. So I can feather down to 0, it's just going to be a solid oval around him. Defaults at 50, you can feather it up even a little bit more if you want. Go right around 60, hit enter. Now the surrounding photo didn't get darker. Colby kind of brightened up a little bit. Now it's drawing a little more focus to him. If I want, I can add another one too. Let's work around the outside now. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. I'm not going to hit invert. So let's drop the shadows a little bit. We'll still drop the highlights just for detail. Contrast up. Now here we can mess with the saturation because we are not dealing with a person. We're dealing with the surrounding. So maybe I do want to bring out the colors a little bit. I'll move that slider up. We'll add a little bit of sharpness there. Why not? We'll let that think. Looks like, yeah. Let's bring that back. Feather I'm going to leave at 50. That's fine. Enter. So now I brought down the outside. So I really like using radial filters instead of vignettes, just because it's, I guess, put it in a way, it's a more natural vignette. I don't know. But it's just, it looks moodier, I guess. I know, and you're not really going for that with graduation photos, but for this specific case, it works. He's brought out, you're not really too focused on anything up here. It looks good. So one final thing for adjustments is you have your adjustment brush. Now this one is for more specific adjustments. I can go in, I can paint a little area, and I can do adjustments within that area. What I like using this for is teeth. If teeth are a little bit yellow, which his aren't too bad, you can make some adjustments. Let's go with our adjustment brush here. Let's go a little bit smaller. Remember, you have your brackets or you have your slider over here. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to paint along in here. Alright, so now I have this whole area, and just to kind of show you, that's the area that I selected. Change the color of the mask there. So that is all what that is. Did I change the color of the mask? No, I just changed the color of his teeth. Alright, let's select that. I thought that was the mask color. Now we can make adjustments. Now I don't want to brighten them up by upping the exposure. That's just going to look kind of weird. Brighten his teeth all up. So what we're going to do, I'm actually just going to desaturate them, just to get some of that color out. We still want to make this look natural, remember. I'm going to bring clarity up a little bit. We'll see what that looks like. Yeah, sure, why not? That works. I'm pretty much going to mess with the highlights, shadows, whites, and blacks. So let's bring the whites up a little bit. Highlights can be dropped down. We still want to keep detail. We don't want to white them completely out. Still want it to look natural. Alright, that actually looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and hit enter on that. So now we have teeth. Alright, so we whitened them up a little bit. Let's look at this side by side. I'm going to hit Y. This was a bit underexposed photo, but you can see they were kind of yellow in that, and then I adjusted them. I just made them better. We have our fully edited photo. Are actually kind of just playing around with tools. But yeah, those are some tools you can use in Lightroom so you don't have to open up Photoshop. I hope this helped. I hope you use these tools. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments down below. I will try to get the most of them. You can find my Instagram in the description below. Go ahead and find that. Give me a follow. Make sure you like this video. If you like this video, subscribe for more. I'm posting every Wednesday and Saturday. Let's do this again sometime, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye. Where did that Markiplier bye-bye come from? Interesting. Alright, see you later.